So I received a question regarding how to use the scanner for getting input from the user. So I figured I'd do a quick video to show that. So first thing is that in order to make it easier, we're going to import the scanner class. So I'm going to do import java.util.scanner, and that goes above your class declaration. And then in my main method, I'm going to need to create a scanner object. So I'm going to say scanner, which is the name of the class, input, which is going to be the name of the object I'm going to create, and then equals new scanner system.in. And the reason I do system.in here is that I'm going to be using this scanner object to get input from the console down here at the bottom. The scanner class can also be used to get input from a file or some other methods as well. So if you just wanted to import text from a file, you could also use scanner. But instead of having system.in here, you would have a file object that you would be passing in. And then every time you use the scanner, it would execute your commands in that file. But we're going to get input from the console, so we'll leave that with system.in. So when we want to get input, one of the things we have to remember when we're writing a program is that you want to write it as if someone else is going to be interacting with it. So you don't want to have somebody have to guess what it is that your program is waiting for them to do. In other words, we're not going to use our scanner object yet, because our scanner object will, when we use it, it's going to cause the program to wait for input. So before we do that, we want to actually tell the user what input we're looking for. So let's ask them for an integer in this case. Okay, so we'll do system.out.println, and we'll say please enter an integer from 1 to 100. And then we'll end that statement. Oops, sorry, I missed my N here on println. And now that we have asked for something, now we can use our scanner. So our scanner is going to be used like this. If we want to get an integer, we say input.nextInt. And you can see the autocomplete starts popping up with my options. Now that will retrieve something from the console, and it'll force the program to pause and actually wait until somebody enters something at the console. And so if I run this right now, it'll print out please enter an integer, and then it'll wait. And it'll wait until I not only enter a value, but press the enter key. And then my program actually is done, but the problem is that I didn't do anything with that number. So what I want to do is, if I'm going to be having the scanner give me back an integer, I want an integer variable to store that in. So I declare int number and set it equal to the value coming in from the console. So this part of the statement will wait for and retrieve the integer that's entered. And then the way assignment statements work, remember, is that whatever is on the right gets assigned to the value on the left. So this integer that's retrieved from the console will get assigned to the variable number that's declared on the left. And then I can say println the number you entered plus 10 is, and then I'll have a little string here. Whoops. Put my semicolon, and then I'll take number plus 10. Now, the reason I have it in parentheses here, remember, is that the plus is an overloaded operator. So if I just did this without the parentheses, it would just push whatever value they gave me and then push 10 next to it, because the pluses would all act like concatenation operators. So whenever there's a string, which is one of the values next to the plus, it treats everything like a string. But since I put this in parentheses, this will be calculated first. It'll take whatever number somebody entered, it'll add 10 to it, and then it'll take that value and combine it with this string. So let's go ahead and run this. Please enter an integer from 1 to 100. So I'll enter 55, and then it says the number you entered plus 10 is 65. So that shows that it got the value that I was looking for, and it used it in a calculation, and also used that result in a print statement. Let me know if you have more questions about this.